Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tamala and Taylor's Treat Talk Tuesday, where we share about treats, business, and life every Tuesday. Hi, I'm Tamala, owner of Torlitas for that sweet and crunchy taste. Torlitas is a dessert company located right here in this great state of Ohio, where we specialize in salty, sweet treats. If you want to know more about me, and my treats, go to at Torlitas. That's T as in Tuesday, Orlitas. Taylor?
Hello, my name is Taylor, owner of Taylor's Kitchen, located right here in Albion, Michigan, where we make custom sweet treats for your special occasions. I can be found on all social media platforms at Sweet Spirit Treats.
Lovely. So, Taylor, so much is going on. We're entering the month of October pretty soon, and
Oh,
we have so many things that we have to prepare for the big shopping season, right?
yeah.
So, some of the things that I was thinking of was that we prepare for what is expected for the shopping season. I'm talking about November, December, right? So, some of the things that I am preparing to do is I think I want some different packaging. I want some different labels, right? For the holiday season. So, what everyone does, they go on Google and they try to find out different ways that people are doing packaging,
Right.
what's current, what the current colors are, and things like that. And I ran across some lady, I think she was a crafter, or I think she does like body butters and stuff like that. And she
Yeah.
had just a plain brown craft box, right? So any kind of size, it was size that fits her product. But what
Mhm.
I'm saying to all of you out there, if you have multiple products that you want to put in multiple desserts or something that you might want to put in a box to ship or something like that, she had a
Mhm.
plain brown box, which is more economical than the white and the colored and all that kind of stuff. And she had a huge square label that you would print off and you would put it over the top and over the bottom. So it kind of creates a seal and it still has your logo, your information, and things like that. So I thought that was a great tip to anyone out there who's trying to make a little bit of a difference this holiday season and want to do some different packaging. So, I mean, we could go on about the packaging. And I think we have
Funny.
several videos that we've done over the years about packaging. So, Taylor, what do you have?
I was gonna say it's funny that you said that because I was just on social media and I seen that a lady is her from the Station Bakery. She you know those square pans that are about like this big and you see people like making little
Right.
cakes in them like
Mm-hmm.
oblong. So she
Yes.
created a label that goes all the way around it and she's actually going to sell them. So it's one of her digital products. So if you guys need some labels, you can go over to the Station Bakery and she will help you guys create them.
Nice. Maybe we can get her on our show so she can, introduce herself to our audience and share what she has. That would be a great interview, I think, because
That
everybody
would
doesn't know when it comes to labels, what size you need, what size packaging, what size all this. And you have to become a mathematician to
you
kind
do?
of figure out what size do I want, square, rectangle, triangle, round, what size round. I mean, it can go on and on, but I think
Definitely.
when you have a label on your packaging, it solidifies, not always, but it helps to identify you as a brand, that you are
Mhm.
professional, that you are taking this serious. Okay. So that's just my opinion. And what are some of the other companies that I know that does labels is Vistaprint. We can probably link a a shareable a shareable link so we can get credit over here on 5T that you we sent you over to Vistaprint. And there's a few others. So please sound off in the comments if you know of great print or label makers that you use for your business. I would love to hear it.
Another big thing is a lot of people focus on the logo label and not the ingredients label. And I
Mm-hmm.
know that we did the Festival of the Forks this weekend here, or last weekend in the city that I'm from, and it's a big festival. This year we had like over 120 vendors, and so they have different food trucks all through up and down the street, and different people who sell desserts and things like that. I actually met a really nice young lady, and I introduced her to our podcast. So hopefully she'll like subscribe and listen, and we can learn from each other. But one thing I realized is I used to like dread the doing the labels, right? And getting them like finalized and everything. I would be like, this it was taxing. It was very taxing. And so a lot of times I would run out of the house and I wouldn't put the labels on like food and stuff. But as we were there this weekend and we got some desserts from a couple other people and they didn't have the labels on them. And so, like, I tried to share with some family members, and they were like, "What's in it?" And I was like, "I don't know. It's desserts, so it probably has like the regular, dairy, eggs, flour, butter." They were like, "Yeah, we don't know what's in it, um, and we know that you make yourself with like plant-based butter, so it doesn't make our stomach hurt. So we're gonna
Well,
stick with
that's good
like
to know.
your stuff." You guys should try other people's things. Like they were like locked in. No, we're not trying anything from anybody else. And then it didn't help that they didn't have the label on the back of it. So just like an encouragement to people, I know it is tedious, but if you set up like a system, like I have a binder and I took the time to like label the binder according to like cake jars, cake labels, cake pops, and like bars and treats. And so it's kind of like segmented. And then I put the master copy because I use the same label paper to print it, so I can like buy it in bulk. So I use the same labels to print it, and I just cut them to different sizes depending on which treat I'm making or how big the box is. So that's really helped me out. So if you have like a system set up, like a binder, and just get like some sheet protectors and put in the copies, or if you have a large event coming up, like when I had to make the 800 cookies, we did like the labels like ahead of time because who wants to run out of label paper when you have to make 800 cookies? Like that's a lot. So so that's one cool thing you can do to help you stay organized in your home bakery or your big, large bakery. Just I have binders set up for a couple different things just to help me run through things smoothly, especially if I'm baking, then I'm packaging everything by myself, or if I do ask for help, I'm like, hey, here you go. This is the system. And it helps out the person who's helping me. But it took me
That
so
is
long to like
lovely.
get it together.
When I grow up, I want to be just like you. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So this is great. I would love to see if you could share pictures of your binders and how you have it segmented or something like that. Maybe we can share it on our Facebook group if you haven't already.
Yeah.
Please go subscribe to our Facebook group. It's at the same name, Tamala and Taylor's Treat Talk Tuesday. And we share things on there where we probably don't talk about here on our podcast. There are ways that you can share what you do, right? Share, what you have made this week or past week, and give us a tip for all of our community to glean from you as well. So we would love to have you over there in our Facebook group. I think we're at number we have to figure it out. So not enough. We'll just say that we're not at enough. We would love to have you over there. Okay. But that's an
Right.
excellent, excellent tip, Taylor.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I feel like this year I have done more of like systematizing my business and my personal life. I introduced some new bookkeeping, um, slash what is this? Well, I got QuickBooks last year in November, but I didn't get a bookkeeper. I didn't have a bookkeeper or a CPA. And
Mm-hmm.
so, I know, like, when I read, like, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, one of the things that he was saying is the most important in anything is to have a good team of people around you. The one thing I don't wanna be is, like, a bajillionaire and then have to owe, like, taxes. I'd rather just get it out of the way of working with people now and learning and growing than have to be like, "Oh, you didn't pay your taxes. You owe us $100 million." I might faint if that. So, I'm working on. So this year, I've been working on getting my personal finances and schedules and business all together. I took a class last year and they said, we're gonna take the first week for you to like track your habits. And I'm starting to see like a pattern of when I get into like a class, they start always with like personal development. Because even if you have an awesome business and your personal finances like aren't in order, then normally you're gonna run your business how you run your personal finances. When in all actuality, we are our own business. Taylor Sandoval is her own, incorporation, So a lot of people who can't figure out like names for their business in the beginning of it, they just use their regular name. When you have that social security number from the government, you are your own entity. So how you run your personal life is most likely going to be how you run your business. So I feel like that's a big thing that I learned. And so just trying to get all of those things like together and in order have been a journey, but it's working out. Thanks.
Well, I commend you on that. And when it comes to systems, whether it's in your personal or professional or your business life, that helps you have a peace of mind, right? So when you
Yes.
have have systems in place, whether it's dates, times, allocated funds, whether it is so when you have systems in place,
Mhm.
it just really gives you a peace of mind. You know
Right.
exactly what to expect. Exactly now, it could be variables, right? But you know what to expect. Everybody in your team is pretty much aware of what to expect. Things can flow much better, like Taylor has the labels in her binder. I would love to see what type of system, what type of printer that you actually use, and what kind of paper, and how you have created the different sizes of your labels. Maybe we can do a podcast about that or a video about that and post it on our Facebook group. I would love to see something like that because there's so many people. I know I have a problem. I have an issue when it comes to labels. I can create tortillas all day. I can make treats all day, but when it
Mhm.
comes to creating packaging and getting a label, say for instance, I just did the big bite. I call them huddles. The chocolate dipped huge pretzels with the peanut butter in the
Mhm.
middle, peanut butter filling. And I need to create
Mm.
a label for that. If I'm looking to go to a store or a boutique restaurant or something like that to see if they would like to, a coffee house to see if they would like to carry them, right? But it has to have, just like Taylor said, the label and the ingredient. I ain't thought about that because I just thought, it'd be a great thing to create. However, she's right. I tried to have one thing that I run into is you have to have a front label and a back label. But guess what?
Mhm.
That label can be the same thing. Your logo, what it is, and on the bottom portion you can have, okay, so on the label you can have the same you can have the information on the same label. So say for instance, you have your logo, what it is, and on the bottom portion you can have the ingredients, the net weight, because that's also important. And depending on where you have your items, if it's in a store or something like that, you're going to need a UPN number, right? So a barcode so they can scan it. So there's
Right.
so many things that goes into the label, but let's just start first with your logo and your name and address, mostly depends on what state you're in, and the
Right.
ingredients. And how do you list the ingredients? You list the most prominent ingredient first, and then it trails
Mhm.
from there. Normally, if you see
So
some different, Mhm.
so the most amount that you put in, say for instance, if you're doing um uh like a cupcake, you will put the flour, then the butter, then the sugar, then the milk and the extract. So like the largest amount goes first. That's the most prominent. And then you trail down.
Absolutely. And normally, if you just look at any ingredient list on any of your cupboard items or things like that, usually the dyes, if you use a dye or something like that, or flavor comes dead last, right?
Yeah, because it's
So
normally that much amount of the flavoring.
yeah, exactly. So be sure to check with your small business office, your depends on where you are located, economic development, small business, food, industry in your county, city, or state, and they will let you know. And there's also apps out there that will do it for you. Just put in the ingredients, it'll tell you, how to
And then
list
it's
it, and you
a
can go.
whole nutrition label.
Yeah, yeah. And I haven't investigated that yet, but it'll be good to maybe put that up on our Facebook group as well. Some links that you can go and try out for yourself. As always, we're not endorsing, we're just providing some information that we share. Okay. Okay.
Right. I mean, even if we were like so many things, um, so many things you don't take into consideration that you know until you actually start to talk them out, and then you're like, wow, I've been through this, I did this, I did this. Like I just put up on my like my highlight reels some like a tab for like homeschool or like books I've been reading, because like those things are important, to me, especially like developing myself as a person. I feel like getting better in all areas should like be the goal. I just recently heard like another podcaster talk about that. Like that should be the one mission that we have, is to just get better in every area. Now that doesn't mean you're going to like do all of the areas at once, but like once you start reading a book about maybe like juicing, you might implement a juice a week, or like walking is like one of the best ways to like get exercise because you move your whole body. You might go on a 10-minute walk, so like just like don't get like overwhelmed with like the things that you want to do. Just like make a list, knock out one thing at a time, you know, just be yourself. If you love to read, then say you love to read. If you love to bake, like people aren't these one dimensional things. There's so many things to explore about people.
Totally agree. So I think this concludes. It's a nice way to end our podcast today. If you have enjoyed what we have shared today, please give us a thumbs up, a like, and a share. Okay. And we would love for you to be a guest on our show. Please contact us or DM us here or at IG, on IG at 5T, the number five, the letter T, and then podcast. We would love to hear your feedback. So thank you for watching another episode of Tamlin Taylor's Treat Talk Tuesday, where we share about treats, business, and life. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye.
Don't wait until the last minute to get your packages ready for the holiday season, right?
Absolutely. And get your systems in place. Maybe we can do a show about how to get your systems in place. What do you think, Taylor?
Ooh.
Ooh. All right. Bye-bye.